Today we're going to get started laying down as always, so once you're situated, find a cozy resting position on your mat laying down and we'll get started there. And once you find your resting posture on your mat, gently draw your eyes closed. And we'll take the next couple of moments to allow ourselves to arrive here and now. Begin to check in with your body and simply become aware how you feel right now. Notice the state of your mind, your head space. Just feel the region within the head and notice how it feels. Scan your body. Notice any areas that stand out to you, but also observe your body on a whole level, just observing how it feels. And maybe you check in with your energy level, your emotional well-being, and again, simply become aware of how you feel in this moment. And however you feel, there's no good, bad, right, or wrong. We're simply becoming aware. We're tuning in. Take a moment to release the day you've had, the week you've had. Let it all go. And also release and let go of anything that's left to do today or for the week. All that stuff will have its time and place. But this next hour is for you to be with yourself. So grant yourself permission to be here fully, to honor yourself and your practice. Allow your body to begin to relax and sink down towards the ground beneath you. Rest the back of the head, the shoulders, the back body, the hips, the legs, and the feet. Allow your body to sink towards the ground beneath you and relax the front of your body as well, softening the face, the chest, the belly. Relax the arms. And begin to simply feel the breath in your body. Relax your jaw as you effortlessly allow the air to flow in and out from your being. And simply notice the sensations that arise around the breath. As we focus on the breath, which is happening in real time, we allow the mind to relax and soften, and allow ourselves to come to the present moment. So maybe you take some full, big breaths, allowing yourself to really feel the entirety of your inhales and exhales. And as we're resting here, I'd like to invite you to bring into your awareness a visualization, and you can follow along with this or simply stay with your breath. But I'd like you to imagine either your real mother or Mother Earth, a more kind of goddess, mother, overall being, and she's holding a newborn baby, a very young baby. And I'd like you to envision as though that very, very young child is you. You're held and wrapped up in this mother's arms. And though you cannot fend for yourself, this mother can do everything for you. She feeds you, protects you, clothes you, really does everything that you need to keep you safe, secure, and healthy. Imagine as though the ground beneath you is the mother's arms holding you tightly close to her. And allow yourself to sink into the warmth, the loving feeling, as though you're being held by this motherly being. Breathe into whatever feeling that you receive. As we flow through our practice today, we are going to observe, notice the qualities that occur as we grow up, as we become adults. As we get older, we tend to feel as though we are the ones taking care of ourselves. We have to provide for ourselves and all those things. We lose the innocence, this relying on others for safety, health, security, and feel as though sometimes we have to do it all on our own. But today we are going to explore leaning back into almost this big hugging sensation. That there's something more out there that provides for us, keeps us safe and secure, that we can lean into in times when sometimes we feel like we're doing it all by ourselves. So take a couple big breaths. Maybe you stay with the energetic quality of the visualization or simply let it go. And throughout practice, as always, you can either stay resting on your mat, you can do whatever you please, or flow along with the instruction. Find what feels good for you tonight and only go to what feels right. If you'd like to begin to flow, on your next inhale, reach your feet towards the front of the room and pull your hands back towards the wall behind you. Full body stretch. On an exhale, gently hug the knees in towards you. Wrap your arms around the legs, and maybe you add a gentle rock side to side. Maybe you stay still. Find what feels good. Stay in your body, though, with your breath. Simply observing how you feel and staying present. When you're ready, you can either roll over to one side and press yourself up to seated or begin to rock up and down the length of your mat. Take your time and find the mode that suits your practice this evening. We'll eventually meet up in a seated posture. You can take all the time you need. And we'll start our first flow in a seated posture. You can find whatever seat feels good for you. Gently place your hands one on top of another right over your heart center and gently draw the eyes closed. Begin to tune into the space underneath your hands, feeling the chest and potentially tuning into feeling the heartbeat. We are going to sit here for about 5 breaths or so, just tuning into the region under the hands. And if anything, just tuning into the warmth of the hands on the body. Take the next couple of moments to be with whatever you feel in this heart space. Take about another round of breath or so. You can either keep the eyes closed or open them, but allow the hands to drop by your sides on an exhale. On an inhale, arms reach up towards a T shape, and then exhale, we're twisting, so left hand comes to the right knee, and then right hand comes behind you like a kickstand. Inhale, sit up as tall as you can, looking toward the right hand side, and then exhale, begin to look over your back shoulder. Pause here for a couple big breaths. Make sure that the spine is stacked one vertebra on top of another. Crown of the head pulls up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears, broadening the chest, the collarbones, pull in opposite directions with the shoulders really pulling towards opposite sides of the room. Relax your jaw. One more big breath here. On your next inhale, gently look forward, and then exhale, unwind. From here, we're gonna go into a seated version of child's pose. So bring those legs out in front of you, feet down, knees bent. They can be as wide or as close as you'd like, but essentially we're gonna give ourselves a big hug. So you'll wrap the arms around the legs and either just allow the chin to tuck in towards the chest and the head to hang heavy, or if you prefer, you can make a little plank by stacking your forearms on the knees and rest your forehead on the arms. So find what feels good for you here. We're gonna pause here and really just relax and melt into this shape. So allow the shoulders to pull down away from the ears, relax the face and the jaw. Soften the back body and the belly as you breathe through the spine on your inhales and exhales. Relax the back of your neck as much as possible. Pause here for another big breath or two. On your next inhale, gently lift the head back up so you're sitting up nice and tall, and then exhale, come back into your seated posture. So if that's with legs crossed or extended, find where you just were. And then on the next inhale, arms reach out to a T shape yet again. We're gonna twist to the other side. So this time, exhale, right hand to the left knee, and then left hand comes behind you like a kickstand. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, look towards the side, and then exhale, begin to look behind you. We'll pause here, breathing deeply. Again, allow the shoulders to relax down the back body. The heads of the shoulders pull in opposite directions, expanding the heart center. Couple more big breaths. Feel the breath within. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Take another big breath. On your next inhale, gently look forward, and then exhale, unwind. We'll make our way to normal child's pose now. So inhale, swing those legs on behind you. Make your way to tabletop position, hands and knees. And then exhale, big toes touch, knees spread wide, sink the hips back towards the heels, and allow your body to drape down towards the ground beneath you. Pause here, breathe deeply. Maybe you allow those hips to rock side to side. Maybe you rock the head side to side as well. Can you feel the breath along the back body? Inhaling to puff up the back. Exhaling, allow your body to drape towards the ground beneath you. Stay in your body and with your breath. Just notice what you feel. And I will go through the recap for that flow. And your choice, you can simply listen to my voice or prop yourself up to watch on the screen. If you want to continue on and do anything else and not want to follow that flow, feel free to do so as well. So totally up to you what you proceed with. If you do want to explore that flow again, we started this flow in a seated posture with the hands on the heart. And we held here for a handful of breaths, really just tuning into what we feel under the space under the hands. So you pause there for a couple breaths, and then we did a little twisting flow. So the arms came out to the sides, we twisted towards one side. We paused here for a couple breaths. When we came back to center, we made our way to that seated child's pose. So the feet came out in front of us. We either wrapped our arms around the legs or stacked them on the knees and allowed the forehead to rest or just hang in the air. Again, pause for however long you'd like here. After this posture, we made our twist to the other side. So we came back to our seat and then twisted on over to the opposite side, again holding for however long feels good for you. After that, we made our way to full child's pose. So hands and knees tabletop position, and then we sank it on back, child's pose. So again, just as a recap, it was hands on the heart, twist to seated child's pose, twist to the other side, and then child's pose, full version of child's pose. So feel free to explore that. You can repeat that as many times as you'd like. You can do all, none, or some of it, or simply rest. But I will be here to guide your awareness for the next couple moments, and then we'll potentially meet up for our next flow. So take your time, explore, do what feels good for you. Wherever you decide to go with these next postures or with the flow, please stay in contact with your breath. So feel the inhales and exhales in your body. Breathe deeply and simply let yourself feel every shape that you make with your body and simply be with the feeling. Let go of any judgment of what you think it should feel or look like, but just let yourself be in the moment. And as you flow, simply allow yourself to surrender to every posture, to every shape. What does it mean to you to surrender? Can you melt into any shape that you're in even further? Let go of muscle groups within the face, maybe the shoulders, the toes, the fingers. When I think of ultimate surrender, the visualization of a big tree always comes to me. This giant tree is at the will of every kind of force within the world. And what I mean by that is that the tree solely really relies on Mother Nature, if you will, to provide for its needs, whether it's rain, sun, nutrients within the soil, whatever it is. A tree cannot get up and move around to provide for ourselves. There's this bigger force, this bigger being at work that essentially provides for this tree. So its life is the ultimate act of surrender of any sort of will, if you will. And I know this is simply an object, simply a tree, but in our own lives, and something I've experienced getting older in life, that we tend to take all matters into our own hands. We think that we need to be in control of everything, and the act of surrender becomes one that is very minute in our lives. And when we find it difficult to surrender and let go, then anxiety and worry begins to creep in. So I ask you, as you flow in these postures, how you can surrender, how you can soften, how you can trust the way your body moves. If you truly believe the thought, the notion that everything you need is provided for you, again, just like that visualization at the beginning of our class, you being held by a motherly being, can you embody that nature and allow yourself to soften and relax, to let go just a little bit? Right now, everything you need is provided for you. You have your breath, you have your body, and simply let yourself be with it on your mat. Whenever your mind creeps to the future or the past, simply become aware. Notice the types of thoughts that your mind tends to go to. Again, are they thoughts of worry or the need to be in control of something, whether you're planning or mulling in the past, planning the future? Can you let go? Find a childlike nature to your mind where you trust you'll be provided for, where you know everything will work out and be okay. you complete your flow, feel free to either continue to flow. Maybe you find postures. Let that intuitive space kick in and just let your body move freely. Sometimes when we stick to such structure and regimen, we lose that fun, that play, that intuitiveness within. So maybe you just see, okay, if I'm going to go to a posture, where does my body want to take me? Let yourself just go to a pose and hold it for a little bit and just let yourself be free in that nature. Or continue to simply rest, honor your body, just go to where it wants to go. Again, it can be freeing to just let your body move, let the mind just go along for the ride. Continue to stay with your breath wherever you go, and let yourself just feel the body. If you are still flowing, please take all the time that you need, and there's also no need to join along for the next flow. So you decide what you want to do next. If you'd like to move on to the next set of postures in your own time, in your own way, we'll all meet up in child's pose yet again. So again, no need to move along with me, but if you'd like to, child's pose. And once you get there, simply take a couple moments to observe, to notice, become aware. And simply notice if there's any thoughts that arise, either that come up against anything, around surrendering, around just being, around trusting that you're being provided for. It's okay if you don't believe it. That's totally fine, but just observe the mind and what happens and how you feel. Take a big breath or two, again, just coming back to your body here and now. And from here, we'll gently make our way to down dog. So on your next inhale, press yourself on up, hands and knees, tabletop position. On the exhale, curl the toes under, lift the knees up, and press your hips on back, downward facing dog. Pause here for a couple moments, pedal out the feet, bend the knees, shift the weight forward and back, side to side. Just find any organic movement that feels good for opening up the backs of the legs and also allowing the head to get used to hanging below the hips. So breathe deeply as you're here. Send your breath all the way to the low belly. We'll pause here for a couple more big breaths. Eventually make your way to your stagnant downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, gently step your right foot up all the way between your hands. If you need to help it get up there, feel free to do so using your right hand. And then drop your back knee down on the exhale, uncurl the toes. Inhale, lift the heart up, hands sweep up towards the ceiling. Pause here for a breath or two. Simply establish your posture. Make sure the knee is directly stacked over that right ankle. Low belly pulls in and up. And we're going to add a little flow here. So big inhale, reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, lower the heart towards the knee, and then the hands reach back behind you. On the inhale, hands lift and torso lifts as well. Let's do that 2 more times. So exhale, reach forward and back, lowering the torso. Inhale, reach it on up. 1 more time. Exhale, reach forward and back. Inhale, lift it on up. This time we're going to lower and hold. So on your exhale, lower, reach those hands back, hold. So notice here that I'm not lowering my chest or my torso onto the knee. I'm staying lifted up off the thigh a bit. Couple more big breaths. Press down through that front right heel. Really reach those fingertips back. Let's take 1 more big breath here. Great job. Inhale, sweep it on up, hands reach up. And then this time, exhale, hands frame the front foot, step that front knee back behind you, and then lower yourself down towards the mat. Inhale to a low cobra, simply peel the heart up. And then exhale, down dog. Moving through tabletop, curl the toes under, press the hips up and back, down dog. And we'll be here for about 5 big breaths, so your choice if you want to continue to add movement here, if you want to simply hold downward facing dog. Breathe deeply in this posture, really pressing the hips towards the wall behind you and pressing the hands down into the mat. Heels drive towards the ground. It's okay if they don't touch. Take about 2 more big breaths. 1 more. And then we'll do the same flow on the other side. So inhale, left foot now steps up between your hands. Once you get there, exhale, lower the back knee, uncurl the toes. Inhale, lift the torso, hands reach up. Pause here for a breath or 2, really sinking down into that front knee, knee stacks over the ankle. Press the right hip forward, left hip pulls back, low belly pulls in and up. Take a big breath in, and on your exhale, reach forward, hands come back behind you. Inhale, sweep it on up, lift the torso. 2 more times. Exhale, reach forward and back. Inhale, come up, follow your breath. 1 more round. Exhale, forward and back. Inhale, lift it up. All right, this time we're gonna hold. So on your next exhale, lower, hands reach back. Again, keep the belly lifted up off the thigh as much as you can. And we'll pause here for a couple big breaths. Really reach those fingertips back behind you. Low belly pulls and press down through that front left heel. Legs should be working here. Let's take 1 more full breath. Great job. Inhale, hands sweep up, lift the torso. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step that front knee back behind you. Your choice. Knees can be down on the mat or lifted. And then lower yourself down. Inhale to your low cobra. And exhale, down dog. Pause in your down dog for just a couple breaths here. Breathing deeply. Noticing how you're feeling. Send the breath all the way to the low belly here. And we'll close this flow with a standing forward fold. So when you're ready, on your next inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. So we're coming to the back of our mat. Exhale once you get there. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, hang heavy. So we're going for a nice supported version, so I'd like to recommend bending the knees significantly, almost to the point that you can rest your torso or your belly on the legs. Hands can dangle in the air. You can wrap them around opposite elbows. You can even hold on to the lower legs. Find something that feels comfortable and restful, more so than a crazy stretch here. Crown of the head reaches towards the ground beneath you, lengthening the back of your neck. And feel free to add movement if you want to sway side to side or bob the head up, down, yes, no fashion. Breathe deeply. Simply let yourself hang here, allowing gravity to decompress your spine. Couple more big breaths. And whenever your next inhale arises, walk the hands back out in front of you. And then we'll lower the knees down on the exhale and make our way back to child's pose. So big toes touch behind you, sink the hips back, and allow the head to rest towards the ground. Pause here, breathing deeply and simply observing how you feel. And as you're here, as always, you can either simply listen to my voice if you'd like to try that flow again, or you can do whatever else feels good for you. If you do want to do the flow again, we started in child's pose just where you are, and then we made our way to downward facing dog. We held here for about 5 breaths again. You just listen to your body and stay for as long as you'd like. And then we step the right foot up between the hands, lower the back knee down, and then lift it on up. From there, we did our sweeps. So we inhaled to lift the head up, and then exhaled, reach the hands back behind. We did that 3 times on each side. You can do as many as you'd like. And then we held. So we found this brief moment where we paused and really found the strength in our body to keep ourselves in that posture. We came back up and then moved through a vinyasa. So the hands came down. We stepped that front knee back. You can keep them on the mat or lifted, but we lowered down on the exhale. Inhaled to a low cobra, and then exhale to down dog. We then held down dog again, paused here, and did the same flow other side. So again, we stepped the foot up, lowered the back knee, came all the way up. Then we did the 3 sweeps. Again, you can do as many as you like, and then we held. We then put the hands back down, moved through the vinyasa. So we lower down, inhale up dog or low cobra, exhale down dog. And then from down dog, we made our way to that standing forward fold at the back of the mat. So the hands walked back towards us. We inhaled to lengthen the spine, and then exhaled, found that gentle forward fold. So you can do anything you'd like with the hands here, just allowing the spine, the back of the neck to decompress. Once you feel ready to come out of this, simply walk your hands forward and make your way back to a child's pose. So again, just for a recap, same flow each side, down dog to the low lunge, sweeping the hands and then pausing, move through a vinyasa, so lowering down, low cobra, down dog, same thing other side, and then ended the flow in the forward fold, and then making your way back to child's pose. So totally up to you. If you want to do that again, do all, none, or some of it. Find what feels good in your body, and then we'll meet up for a final flow of class. Stay connected with your breath wherever you decide to go, and remember, it's okay to just do what feels good for you. Listen to your body, give yourself what you need tonight. And allow yourself to find a playful, a light, or even a fun nature to this flow. Again, rather than trying to get it correct or right or whatever have you, how can you bring a lightness and ease? Almost again, that childlike nature where rather than trying to get things right, we simply show up to have fun, to enjoy, to learn potentially something new. When we are children, the world and many components of it are brand new. They're exciting. It's something fun to explore. When we begin to age, things become more mundane, if you will. They're ordinary. But how can you bring a more explorative, a childlike, a fun nature to this flow, to your practice, to your mindset? Find how these postures, whatever you're choosing to do, feel in your body. Let yourself have fun. Again, rather than trying to do the flow I suggest or the correct thing, just be light, have fun. Go to what feels good in your body right now. Just let yourself explore. And at the very least, you can add a little smile to your face. So our facial expressions translate to the body, to the mind. So you smile, the body will light up as well. So again, find that fun nature, stay in your body, stay connected with the breath, and again, just have fun. Let yourself be here for you. And sometimes when we move organically or not have structure or even are left to our own vices, the mind may think, what am I supposed to do? And that's okay. Exploring, if you will. Let yourself, again, just have fun. Whether you're doing the flow we just did or something completely different, explore whatever you're doing in the body, the mind. Just become aware and a witness. Continue to still be aware of the mind and what's going on within. Continually find your way back to the breath, to the present moment. As children, and I'm speaking from my own experience, I believe a lot of the time we really spend in the present moment. We're not planning, we're not trying to figure out the future and how things are going to work out. We are enjoying here and now, whatever activity it is. So again, can you find that childlike mind, finding the fun in the present moment and letting yourself be there? If anything, just for these couple of moments, let yourself simply be here and now. Feel the breath within and enjoy simply living in your body. Whenever you complete your flow or whatever you're doing, either find a cozy resting position to simply check in, to be with the breath for a couple moments and rest, or continue to move however you'd like. Again, this is your time, your practice. Do with it whatever you please. For our final flow, we will eventually meet up resting on our bellies. So if you'd like to join me for the final flow of class, we'll meet up resting on our bellies on the mat. Again, take your time, feel free to do whatever you'd like before you get there. Once you get there, stack the palms in front of you and rest your forehead on the hands. Take a couple moments to simply allow your body to rest and to feel the connection of the breath with the ground beneath you. Noticing that on the inhales, the belly presses out towards the ground. And on the exhales, as the belly relaxes, the spine gently falls towards the ground beneath it. Feel the breath and the connection with the ground for a couple rounds of breath. And whenever your next inhale arises, gently lift your head up off your hands. And exhale, reach your hands behind you, clasping your hands over the low back. So you're interlacing the fingers, clasping the hands. On your next inhale, keeping the feet pressing down towards the mat, can you lift the heart up and maybe reach the hands back behind you? Again, clasping the hands. And we're simply going to pause here for a couple big breaths. So continue to press the hip bones down towards the mat beneath you. Lift the heart, look in front of you, and breathe deeply. Let's take 2 more big breaths here. 1 more breath. On your exhale, slowly lower and release the hands by your sides. On your next inhale, hands come under the shoulders, and then press the hands into the mat, lift the heart up, low cobra, elbow squeeze by the sides. Again, we're gonna pause here for a couple big breaths. Rather than lifting the chin and craning the neck, keep the chin gently pulling in towards the chest, neutralizing the spine, the back of the neck. Tops of the toes press into the mat. One more big breath here. And then exhale, slowly lower yourself down. On your next inhale, clasp the hands behind you, and then again, peel on up. Lifting the heart up off the mat, reaching the hands towards the wall behind you, lifting them up off the low back. Couple more big breaths, tops of the feet continue to press down, should feel the back body working here. Let's take one more big breath. On your exhale, slowly lower down, hands by the sides. Low cobra one more time. Inhale, hands under the shoulders. Lift the heart on up, elbows squeeze by the sides. Pause for a couple big breaths. Shoulders work down the back body. Again, elbows are squeezing, low back is working, tops of the toes press into the mat. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Great job. Exhale, slowly lower yourself down. We're going to move into full locust pose, so hands by the sides. On your next inhale, can you lift the hands, the arms, the feet, the chest up, all off the mat. Legs lift up. Couple big breaths. Again, should feel the back body really working here. Let's take 2 more breaths. Relax the jaw, soften the gaze. 1 more big breath. Great job. Exhale, slowly lower down. You could stack the palms and either rest the forehead or a cheek down on the hands. If you'd like, you can gently rock the hips side to side here, releasing the back body a bit. Maybe you even bend the knees, lift the feet, and allow the feet to gently sway side to side. Maybe you feel the heartbeat in the chest. Even out your breath, breathing deeply. And allow yourself to simply rest for a couple moments. So that is actually our final flow of class. You can repeat that 1, 2, 3 times, how many times you'd like, or you can simply do anything else or rest. So just as a recap, we started this flow by holding the bound locust pose for a couple big breaths. And you can stay as long as you'd like. From there, we exhaled to lower, and then when we inhaled, we lifted back up to our low cobra pose. So we did that twice. So we did the bound again, and then low cobra. From there, after we came down, we lifted up to full locust, lifting the arms, the legs, everything up off the mat. We finally came back down, rested, maybe wiggled those hips side to side, or even allowed the feet to drop side to side with the knees bent. So again, it was the bound locust to low cobra, did that 2 times, and then full locust pose, lifting everything up off the mat. So your choice, you can do all, none, or some of that. After you complete the back bends, then lift yourself on up, make your way to a child's pose with the knees close together, or a seated forward fold. But do some sort of forward folding action to really create some more space in the low back and relieve the low back after the back bends. So feel free to explore that flow or do anything else for the last flow of class, and then we'll meet up for our closing. Take all the time you need. Continue to flow with your breath, be in your body, and especially in these back bends, relax the face, the jaw, soften the shoulders. Breathe deeply. And as you flow, maybe you explore the concepts that no matter where your body goes or how these shapes that you take manifest in your body, that your practice is perfect right now and that you are good enough. As we explore this idea of being held by this motherly being, a warm, loving nature, being supported, and finding a childlike nature in our practice and possibly our lives, I think one of the most amazing things that a loving mother gives their child is this confidence, this sense of that you are good enough no matter what. So I'd like you to possibly explore the concept of being good enough. Irrelevant of what you accomplish in life, what you look like, what your body can do, any of the external stuff. Exploring the idea that you, as you are in this moment, you are good enough, you are perfect, you are amazing, just because you are you. Sometimes as children, especially young children, we find ourselves going out into the world having all the confidence and all the self-esteem we could possibly have because we have yet to learn everything from society. So can you again find that childlike nature within the mind? The warm, loving feeling that a gentle mother gives her young child. The knowing that deep down within you are perfect. You are good enough, and allow that to set you free. Rather than struggling against your body in whatever poses you go into, find the peace and ease meeting yourself where you are today. Because right now your body is perfect, and so is your practice. Breathe into the beautifulness within and all around you. And continue to bring yourself back to here and now. There's no other place to be than in your body and on your mat right now. So let yourself be here. Breathe through your body. Let your mind be present. And whenever you do complete the flow, please find some sort of forward folding nature, whether that's child's pose or a seated forward fold of any sort. Find release in the low back. If you're still flowing, take all the time you need. We will eventually meet up laying down for the closing of class, but again, if there's extra postures you'd like to throw in, if you're still flowing, take all the time that you'd like. Move however it feels good, and then we'll eventually meet up laying down. If you'd like to take one last posture with me, I'm going to guide us through happy baby pose. So once you lay down, gently lift the feet up off the mat, bend the knees, and flex the feet, lift the feet up towards the ceiling. You can either grab a hold onto the backs of the thighs, pulling the knees towards the side bodies. You can grab a hold of the lower legs, or wrap the hands around the outside edges of the feet. Wherever you go, keep those feet flexed and press the hips, the low back down towards the ground beneath you. Maybe you even rock side to side. And add a smile to your face. So this is happy baby, should be happy pose. So wherever you are, allow the shoulder blades to relax down towards the ground beneath you. If you feel a lot of tension and lifting in the upper back and the neck, lower your bind a little bit. So grab a little lower on the legs. Find somewhere where you can loosen the arms and the shoulders. And you can stay here for as long as you'd like. If you would eventually like to transition out of this pose, you can make your way to Baddha Konasana, butterfly legs, or anything else that feels good for you. So find whatever transition feels good. Maybe you lower the butterfly legs towards the mat, or again, find what feels good for your body. And we'll eventually meet up in some sort of resting pose for Shavasana. So take your time, explore whatever other postures you need. When you're ready, Shavasana, finding a comfy resting position. And once you make your way towards Shavasana, gently draw the eyes closed. And allow your body to begin to relax towards the ground beneath you. As you invite in a soft, easy, light nature to your mind, body, and the space within and around you, begin to relax the top of your head. Soften your forehead, relax the eyebrows and the eyes. Soften your temples, the cheekbones, and relax your jaw. Soften your lips, the teeth, and gently float the tongue down away from the roof of your mouth. Soften your ears and the back of the head along with the scalp. Relax the back of your neck, the sides and the front, as you allow the throat to open. Melt the shoulders down towards the ground beneath you, softening the upper arms and the elbows, and the lower arms and the wrists. Relax your hands, allowing the fingers to naturally curl inwards. Soften your chest, the rib cage, the belly. And completely relax your back down towards the ground beneath you, softening every vertebra of the spine, working down the back body. Eventually soften the hips, the glutes, the pelvic region. Relax the upper legs and the knees. Soften the lower legs and the ankles. And relax your feet, allowing every toe to get a little bit lighter. Notice if you're holding on anywhere else in your body, and simply let it melt away. Allow this light, easy nature to translate to your mind, softening the mind as though it's a muscle itself, letting it fade away. And allow yourself to simply rest here. And as you do so, I'd like to invite you to bring in the visualization of receiving a giant hug from either your earthly mother or just a divine, eternal, motherly being. Imagining as though it's the most loving hug that you could possibly receive. Simply being held in the arms of this motherly being. And allow your body to rest here, filling your heart with the warmth, the joy, the peace, ease, and protection, safety, and security that this loving hug brings to your being. And allow yourself to drift away, resting peacefully here for the next couple of moments. Gently begin to invite the awareness back in towards your body. Maybe you deepen your breath or add subtle wiggles to the toes, the fingers, the wrists and ankles. And only when you are ready, gently roll over to either side and pause there to rest in a fetal position. Take your time. Once you're ready, gently press yourself all the way up to seated, keeping the eyes softly closed as you move. And we'll eventually meet up with the eyes drawn closed and the palms touching at heart center. Take a couple of moments to consciously observe how you feel right now. Draw your awareness to the mind, to the head space, and simply feel, notice the qualities of your mind. And maybe you come up with a word to describe the state of your mind. Draw your awareness to your body, notice how it feels. And again, maybe you come up with a word to describe the state of your body. And eventually tune into your emotional well-being, becoming aware of the emotion you feel right now. And gently give yourself a smile. Really thank yourself for showing up here today, for dedicating your time to your health, your life, and your practice. And thank you so very much for sharing your beautiful energy and practice with me and everyone else who joined in here tonight. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.